Sedin so dangerous again. Henrik made an excellent no-look pass to his brother, but watch him go to the net. Number 7, Brent Seabrook, doesn't realize that Henrik's going in quickly. He gets there before the defenseman can. Watch the reaction of Henrik. Makes the pass, goes hard to the net, gets inside route, but once again, Antti Niemi equal to the task. An excellent desperation save.
We have the scoring chances at 6-3 Vancouver in the first half of the first period. Niemi's been great. Kessler cut off a clearing attempt, shoots, and Niemi makes another save with Burrows all over him. In fact, he bumped him. Here's Alex Burrows again. Mason Raymond working with him in front of the net. Burrows checked and lost the puck, and Thomas Kopecky with Sharp and Hossa tries to get out to center. Held in again. Burrows keeps the puck in for Vancouver.
Jim, you see Burrows tried desperately not to take a penalty there. He wanted to do everything in his power not to bump the goalie and give him an early chance.
Here's a 3-on-2, and Chicago goes just offside. Halfway through the first period, no score, and the goalies are the stars so far on Hockey Night in Canada. Most of the pre-series discussion was about Dustin Byfuglien getting to Roberto Luongo, but the Canucks want to get to the front of the net as well. Make life tough for Niemi.
Absolutely, and the Canucks have their own agitators. Burrows stops up once the turnover's there, but watch his ability there. He stays out of the crease, tries to make sure he doesn't make contact. Kessler there reading the play extremely well, and already a little bit of nervousness and a few turnovers by both these teams in the defensive zone. Saw Henrik throw it blind earlier on that created a chance for the Blackhawks.
He didn't do that very often. No. Throw it up the middle in his own end. Here's John Madden after Alexander Edler. Ryan Kessler, the center in support, back to help out against Dustin Byfuglien. And he got the puck up the boards. Burrows will chase Nick Hjalmarsson. Following up on the play is Mason Raymond. He got the puck and lost control of it. Brent Sopel, Hjalmarsson's partner this time, with John Madden deep in his own zone. Madden, over 100 NHL playoff games, 2 Stanley Cups, 37-year-old. Added valuable experience to this lineup. Takes a long shot in on Roberto Luongo and heads for the bench in a change. Byfuglien checked along the boards, and Vancouver's Kyle Wellwood gets the puck to center. Brian Campbell with Jordan Hendry on defense. Campbell, 4th game back after the injury sustained in the hit by Alex Ovechkin. Hurt his shoulder, and he came back early. He didn't get bounced around much against Nashville. I figure he'll get a few more hits in this series.
I would expect a lot of dump-ins to his corner and finish the check whenever you can. Might not make a difference in game 1, but maybe game 4 or 5.
Pat Kane, rink wide. Campbell with his shot. Luongo with the save. The rebound. He scrambles to find it and can't. And the puck comes loose to Campbell. Crowd forming in front once again. Jordan Hendry shoots intentionally wide and gets the bounce to Kane. Bickle goes to the front of the net. Pat Kane thought about dropping the puck off. Now he just gets it deep. Jonathan Toews takes over. Bickle is in front. And the Blackhawks own the puck right now. Jordan Hendry holds the puck in. Kane, Alberts comes at him. Toews tripped up by Kevin Bieksa. No call. Brian Bickle up the boards for Hendry. Kane got him the puck. He shoots. Luongo the save. Rebound shot wide. And Kane looked to the skies in disbelief that he missed the net. Great shift for Jonathan Toews' line.
Yeah, I think it might be the fact that it's the end of a very long shift. You're tired. You don't have the same focus. And that's a play that normally Kane would put in the back of the net.
Here come the Sedins. Henrik. Salo is stick busted. And now he's back defensively. And here come the Hawks. And the puck is dumped in by Versteeg. Salo took a hit from Dave Bolland as he played the puck with his feet. Back come the Canucks. Henrik Sedin to Daniel and back. Edler joins them on this rush. That's Daniel at the blue line. Ehrhoff shoots and his stick breaks. That's 2 on this shift. Here comes Chris Versteeg into the middle of the ice. He passes off, and Seabrook couldn't handle the pass. Terrific end-to-end action now. Jannik Hansen trying to get the puck out of his own zone to center. He does for Vancouver. Dumps it in on a line change. Brent Seabrook back to get the puck, watched by Michael Grabner from the front of the net. Grabner got into the lineup instead of Tanner Glass. I guess with Ben Eager scratch for Chicago, Vancouver opted for the speed of Grabner. Here's Hansen with his shot. That redirected off a stick and was a tough save for Niemi. Thomas Kopecky. Here's Marian Hossa. He left the puck behind and put himself offside. There's the first little scrum after a whistle that both of these coaches want their teams to avoid.
Yeah, you can imagine there will be a few of those as this series progresses. But one thing that's so evident is that both teams dangerous off the rush. Look at the blade of Sami Salo. It ends up going into the net, but the puck was lying there. Good bump back by Henrik. Henrik in front of the net. There's the blade going right in the back. Good concentration by Niemi, and here's that shot. A nice job of Andrew Alberts, though, got his stick in the way, and I think that had some effect on Kane. I just think it's fatigue at the end of a hard, long shift. But, Jim, these teams are so similar in their offensive styles that we've seen examples of it. Good down-low pressure, low cycles. But if you ever get caught with your D pinching in, they have great transition on both sides.
Hawks go to work again. Patrick Sharp's line with Hossa and Kopecky. Here's Brent Sopel with a shot that hit his own man, Kopecky. Patrick Sharp with a quick shot. Nice save by Luongo. The rebound gobbled up by Andrew Alberts. Playing on this shift with Christian Ehrhoff as the Canucks mix and match their defensive pairs after Salo and Edler. Hunting down the puck is Mason Raymond. Sopel gives him a rough ride, but Raymond gets away. Ehrhoff with a shot. He scores! Christian Ehrhoff, and some good work along the boards by Mason Raymond, and Vancouver strikes first in the series.
Jim, that's the key point there, is Mason Raymond was virtually on his own. I mean, he was left to win a battle and keep the puck alive. And he does just that, and then a seemingly innocent-looking shot. Here's Raymond in all by himself, and instead of throwing it away, gets back on it, beats Sopel to the puck, keeps it alive, curls back, and through a screen. Like so many times, I'm sure Don Cherry will have something to say. Sharp's in position, but he doesn't block the shot. If you're going to be in that spot in the visual sight line of your goalie, you got to find a way to get a piece of that puck. Sopel has a bad stick. Good effort individually by Raymond, and the quick wrister finds the back of the net for the game's first goal.
And a line that really needed to pick it up and get some scoring for Vancouver strikes as Raymond and Kessler set up Christian Ehrhoff second, straight up the middle. Here's Kane. And Luongo got a piece of that as Pat Kane went straight up the middle and had a terrific chance. And there's a penalty coming on the play for hooking. No goal and a penalty, and Vancouver will be shorthanded.
Boy, I thought it might have been a penalty shot.
Close. Pat Kane to the net, and Luongo got a piece of him. I didn't know Patrick Kane had such an overdrive. Maybe Alexander Edler didn't either.
Jim, it's amazing the kind of energy you have when you have a scoring chance. It's like having an empty net. You find an extra gear. I'm not sure Kane could go back check quite as hard, but boy, he's got deceptive speed and, like always, controls the puck, protects it well. And I think you're right. I think the fact that he did get a good chance on goal is maybe why that wasn't a penalty shot. A lot of times you see just that little hook on the hands, and next thing you know, the puck's at center ice.
Instead, it's the second power play for the Chicago Blackhawks. They had an 11th ranked power play during the regular season. And lots of talent on the ice. Pat Kane, Dustin Byfuglien at the side of the net. Here's Patrick Sharp with a shot that hit the crowd in front. Byfuglien to play the front of the net. Patrick Sharp's a great shooter. So is Kane. Head up, looking around. Duncan Keith's over at the right point. Into the middle, Taves with a quick shot. Rebound, Byfuglien poked it wide of the net. Luongo stayed with it, but he couldn't smother the puck. Here's Patrick Sharp to Pat Kane. Takes the shot that hit Luongo. Duncan Keith is right there in front of the net. Dog pile on Luongo, and the puck is underneath, but it didn't get to the back of the net.
Well, you're getting a good feel of just the skill and the puck movement of this power play. We expect this to continue on. Burrows yapping with Duncan Keith.
They have a history.
Yeah, the emotions going very high. But it's Pat Kane who really is the catalyst on the half wall. He controls the puck so well. Look at the head fakes, the stick handles. Hard shot here. Watch the stick of O'Brien gets in there and just pokes that puck from Byfuglien quickly. And Roberto Luongo, as you mentioned, Jim, very sharp, down on his knees, able to get a piece of it as well and get the puck into the corner.
Henrik Sedin out to take a face-off here on the penalty kill. This is where Ryan Johnson would normally be, and he'll probably enter this series before too long. Henrik got the draw, and then he got off the ice. They missed that left-handed centerman on their penalty kill. That's where Henrik fills in. Here's Marian Hossa on the second power play unit with Thomas Kopecky, Chris Versteeg. There's Dave Bolin with the puck. Kopetsky's number 82. Hossa to Brian Campbell. Seabrooks on the other side and takes the pass. Kopetsky parks in front. Campbell makes a pass to Hossa, who'd vacated that half-board area. Hossa again as the crowd forms in front of the net. Brent Seabrook shoots, he just missed. And Luongo would have had a tough time picking that one up. He had Thomas Kopetsky all over it.
You see Luongo, a little look back at the officials, had a little chirp.
Did you see that?
Kopetsky was right behind him.
Duncan Keith, no speed at the blue line. He had to stop to get the puck, and a good aggressive play by Ryan Kesler to knock the puck away. He and Burrows, the main forwards on the penalty kill, out there again. Down to the last 20 seconds of this penalty to Edler. Kane couldn't dance Bieksa at the blue line. Duncan Keith has enough speed to recover against Kevin Bieksa. One last rush on the Chicago power play. It's second of the game. The hard shoot in. Taves is after the puck, but the Canucks get to it. Kevin Bieksa just bumped it back. Christian Ehrhoff hit the linesman trying to clear the puck, or the referee, as Edler returns to the ice, and the puck comes right to him. 2 shots for Chicago on that power play, and they're 0 for 2 in the game.
And boy, what a confidence boost for this Vancouver penalty kill that, as you mentioned, finished strong in the LA series and now has the confidence to be aggressive here early on against the Chicago Blackhawks.
They've now killed 14 of 15 since the late stages of the LA series. Here's Chris Versteeg, slid one just wide. Andrew Ladd picks up the puck. The Hawks are buzzing now. Backhand shot. Luongo stopped it, and he cleared the rebound to the boards. Daniel Sedin to Henrik Sedin. Samuelsson on his off wing takes the pass. Sopel makes him stay on the outside. There's the centering pass. Didn't get to Henrik Sedin. Sopel up the boards. Andrew Ladd against the pinching Kevin Bieksa. Got the puck out to center. Shane O'Brien to Michael Samuelsson. Kevin Bieksa with a long shot. Kicked away by Niemi. Might have gone wide anyway. John Madden. An outlet pass is knocked down and held in by Kyle Wellwood. Jalmerson for Chicago shoots the puck to center. 16-10 are the shots in favor of Chicago.
In the opening, though, Don Cherry talked about taking the crowd out of it. This has been a really good road period by the Vancouver Canucks. They get that first goal, would silence everyone, and killing off 2 penalties has a tendency to take the momentum out of this team as well.
But Chicago has had 10 of the last 12 shots, and they've been coming close against Luongo.
That's why you pay your goalie. Luongo has looked very sharp in a building that he's got some bad memories of from Game 6 last year.
That was a 7-5 loss in which Patrick Kane got a hat trick and the Canucks were eliminated. Here's Thomas Kopetsky, number 82. Boy, the Red Wing influence is all over in the playoffs. Samuelsson on Vancouver, Kopetsky in Chicago. Here's Kane with a shot into the glove of Roberto Luongo. And all those guys from Detroit that moved to other teams know how to play.
Well, you wonder if the motivation, I don't think Roberto Luongo needs anymore, but you heard him with Scott Oak at the end of round 1, the Los Angeles Kings, that he wanted the Chicago Blackhawks. And I think to a man, the Canucks felt they had some unfinished business. Jim, maybe last year they thought this young Chicago Blackhawk team might not be ready to beat them, and we're a bit shocked.
Patrick Sharp and Ryan Kesler in the faceoff, and Sharp won the draw. Jordan Henry took a shot that was blocked. And there's been a lot of that already, and will be lots more to come. Brian Campbell drifting back.
And Burrows is going off, limping. Wonder if that got him right in the top of the foot.
There's Sharp with a shot that goes wide of the net. Salo couldn't handle the puck. His partner, Alex Edler, can, and he gets it to center. A race for the puck. And Brian Campbell's an excellent skater, and has to be, to beat Jannik Hansen to a loose puck, and he put it onto the Vancouver bench right beside Alex Burrows.
Well, a couple of things on this one for Burrows. He knew he had to sacrifice his body going out to block the shot. You lose the draw, that's your role. And he goes hard into the boards, gets up. That looked like it hit him right on the top. Right on the top of the foot, and that's smarts. And that's Ryan Johnson, who just, as you mentioned, missed all that time with the broken foot, and he's still in pain on the Vancouver bench.
And now it's probably starting to subside, and he's catching his breath with 1:25 to go in this first period, and the maintenance crew is on to fix a pane of glass here. Been a period played at breakneck speed. We expected that, and one of the beauties of a series like this is that these teams have played each other 10 times over the last year. There's no secrets here. They don't need to wade into this series at all.
But that's the great thing about coaching, and it's a real challenge for both these 2 veteran bench bosses, and it's the little adjustments that you can make. We've already seen Joel Quenneville try to address the aggressive defense of the Vancouver Canucks by throwing a winger up the middle. maybe force Alain Vigneault to back off on his pressure offense. But I think that's the great gamesmanship that goes on within a series.
One of the things the Canucks said about the series last year that they learned from is that they changed their game. Remember in Game 4 they got a lead and they tried to nurse it home here and it cost them and they never recovered. And to a man, they're all saying what we've learned is we got to play our game from the start to the finish of the game and not change it.